Welcome back to the #1 sportscast in the world, where we give full card predictions and a betting breakdown. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and share this video as well. UFC on ABC 5. I'm looking forward to breaking down this card. But before we do that, let's go ahead and recap UFC Vegas 75 along with our bets.
Yeah, Martin, what a crazy card last weekend. A bunch of crazy finishes, a bunch of crazy stoppages, but we made profit, man. I'm super stoked. We won positive 1.50 units on that card. A little over $60 for us on our show, but man, dude, it came down to Ronnie Lawrence getting called for the phantom tap against Dan Argueta. In my opinion, he was on his way to losing that first round, and I'm happy that got called because we got really lucky on that. We had Alessandro Costa, Martin, and you owe me a shoey. He sparks Jimmy Flick, absolutely knocks him out. That honestly should have been my first 5-unit bet of the year. We had 1.25 units on him at minus 250, snatched a half-unit profit on him. And then we had a parlay, Modestas Bukauskas, Alessandro Costa, and Ronnie Lawrence. And we ended up pushing on Ronnie Lawrence, like I said, and hitting the other two. So we ended up winning, like I said, 1.51 units. So it was a good week, man. The Vegas Golden Knights had their parade on Saturday. It was a good time. Jared Cannonier absolutely beat the absolute brakes off Marvin Vettori. Something that I didn't see coming. I did think that he was going to win via decision, but if you had that plus 300 ticket on your on your hands, it was a good night for you too, man. But without any further ado, let's get right into this exciting card because I think there's going to be a ton of violence on this UFC Jacksonville card. So let's get into it.
Any action sports cap. Ladies and gentlemen, just a friendly reminder, all the odds are based off Tapology.com. They are not current odds and are subject to change. First up in the card, taking place in the middleweight division, we have Cody Brundage. He's 8-4, the slight favorite. You can catch his odds around a minus 125. He's 29 years old, and he's taking on Cedricus the Reaper Dumas. He's 7-1. You can catch his odds around plus 105. He's 27 years old. At the
Yeah, man, right away, like you just said, minus 125. All the way to around minus 200. Money's been coming in on the short notice Cody Brundage in this fight. And I agree, man. I think that he's going to win this fight. My pick is Cody Brundage to actually stop Dumas in this fight. Now, it kind of sucks because in Cedricus' last fight, everyone, was kind of favoring him. He had this hype train, look good on Contender Series, right? This guy is big, tall, and long for the division. Has all these face tattoos looking like a little Uzi Vert. And he's a finisher guy. This guy's finishing all of his wins, knocking people out, submitting people. He's well-rounded, but the level of competition he's doing it against, in my opinion, is very low. And Cody Brundage is taking this on show notice after his teammate actually beat Cedricus. So everyone's kind of thinking like, oh, they might know something. And even Cedricus knows this. He's been saying it in his interviews, oh, this guy's underestimating me, blah, blah, blah. But I think that it comes down to the wrestling in this fight. I think that Cody Brundage will be able to get this fight down whenever he wants, really, and really ground and pound out Cedricus. So give me Cody Brundage via stoppage. So to start the night off right away, a stoppage. To give me a TKO finish for Cody Brundage.
Any action sports cap. Next up in the flyweight division, we have Tatsuro Tara. He's 13-0. His opening odds were minus 375. He's 23 years old, and he's taking on Cleetson Rodriguez. He's 8-2. His opening odds were a plus 280. He's 27 years old. FE.
Yeah, man, I understand the line movement in this fight. A bunch of money came in on Rodriguez because that opening line that Martin just mentioned is pretty outrageous in my opinion. Look, I get it. Tatsuro Tara, 13-0 grappling ace, right? Probably the best Japanese prospect we've seen in a while, really ever. 70-inch reach or 68-inch reach, something crazy. This dude's a beast. This guy's striking is actually really good. I actually like his striking a lot, even though he's, like I said, he's a grappling ace. Fighting Cleetson Rodriguez, this is where I think a bunch of money, came in on the underdog because, dude, he cracks. This guy can crack, dude. We just saw him in his last fight absolutely dust his opponent in the first round. And it comes down to, can he defend the takedowns here? How is this fight going to look if it gets extended? Can Tatsuro Tara take him down in that second and third round? And I think he will. I actually think that once he does take him down, he's going to be able to find that submission or that ground and pound finish. So one of those fights where, stylistically, polar opposite, right? We have a grappler and a striker here with very powerful hands in Rodriguez. And I respect the underdog shot here. So if you're sitting on a plus 280, plus 275 ticket on Rodriguez, you did your job. So I am going to pick Tara to, continue to be undefeated here. I do think that he's a real deal. But that line was wide, so I understand why it came down at minus 230, man. I actually think that he might be a good parlay piece. So give me the grappling ace to get a TKO finish in that first round, continuing the violence.
Any action sports cap. Next up in the featherweight division, we have Jamal Pretty Boy Emmers. He's 19-6. You can catch his odds around a minus 175. He's 33 years old, and he's taking on Jack Farr Jenkins. He's 11-2. You can catch his odds around a plus 145. He's 30 years old. FE.
Yeah, man, I'm going with Jamal Emmett in this fight. I'm pretty confident he's going to win a decision here. I think that Jenkins is a good prospect, man. I'm pretty surprised at giving him someone this early on in his career as good as Jamal Emmett. You know, the step up in competition for Jack Jenkins here might be too much, but I really like his striking. You know, he's a very slick striker, very throws in variety, I should say. And very strong leg kicks. So Jamal Emmett here, has to check those leg kicks early, and if he does, man, I think that he can win this fight off pure technical striking, because I think that he's a better overall striker in this fight than Jack. But Jack's good, man. He's a young up-and-coming prospect, like I said. But I am going with Jamal Emmett, man. Pretty confident pick in Jamal Emmett to win via decision.
Action Sports Cap. Step into lightweight division. We have Trevor Peek. He's 8-0. You can catch his odds around a -200. He's 28 years old. And he's taking on Chepe Machine Gun Marisol. He's 13-6. You can catch his odds around a +170. He's 30 years old. Effie.
And I know that you might be working during this fight, Martin, but you might need to take a lunch break during this one, because Trevor Peek is can't miss TV, dude. This dude has 8 wins, 8 finishes, 6 first-round finishes, and 2 second-round finishes. You guys never seen a third round. But I will say, man, he is super, super hittable, and this line has flipped, man. So Trevor Peek was my favorite, and then now he's an underdog. So money's been coming in on his short notice opponent here, making his UFC debut. And I don't get it, because I actually think that Trevor Peek has shown that he's durable enough to stand, get into a standing banging war, which is what he tries to do. And has the power to knock out anyone, in his division. I understand his head is this big, so it's super hittable. This guy has a Minecraft head, but his opponent is probably the more well-rounded fighter. I'll be honest. He's probably the more well-rounded mixed martial artist when it comes to wrestling, jiu-jitsu, striking and variety, throwing volume. But his opponent tends to fade. So I just think that Trevor Peek's going to continue his winning streak, continue to be a fan favorite. And like I said, dude, this is can't miss TV. You must watch Trevor Peek fight. So give me Trevor Peek to win via knockout in the first round.
Action Sports Cap. Next up in the flyweight division, we have Zhalgas Zako Zumagulov. He's 14-8. You can catch his odds around a -175. He's 34 years old. And he's taking on Joshua, the Fearless Van. He's 7-1, the slight underdog at around a +150. He's 21 years old. Effie.
And I just hope this fight happens, guys. I'll be honest. As far as giving the pick, I am going Zhalgas. But Martin, how many times have we talked about Zhalgas Zumagulov and him not fight, dude? His opponents keep pulling out. This guy has the worst luck. He probably is the best 1-5 fighter in UFC history, like we said last time we broke down his fights. I'm not going to get too much into it, because if you guys have ever watched the show, you know how much we talk about this guy. But he's going to have the Patty the Batty haircut. He's finally going to win a decision. This guy's fighting up a weight class on short notice. Give me Zhalgas to win a decision. Let's go Zhalgas, man.
Action Sports Cap. Next up in the strawweight division, we have Tabitha Baby Shark Ricci. She's 8-1. You can catch her odds around a -125. She's 28 years old. And she's taking on Jillian the Savage Robertson. She's 12-7, a near even at a +100. She's 28 years old. Effie.
I'm going with Tabitha Ricci in this fight, man. I'm pretty confident that she's going to win this fight. A fight between two grapplers, man. I'm very excited for this fight, man. It's not common or often that I'm looking forward to a women's MMA fight, but I'm actually really excited to see how this fight plays out, because in theory, Tabitha Ricci seems to have the, less fight miles on her, even though they're the same age. Jillian's been fighting at a way higher level in the UFC than Tabitha, and has a way higher level of competition. But if you look at how they fight, Jillian really relies on her grappling, and I think that Tabitha Ricci will be able to equalize that realm in this fight and be able to get ahead on the points on the feet. So even if it does get down there, man, I think that Jillian Robinson will get reversed on the mat, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her have success from top position here. So it's just one of those things where I am excited to see how it plays out. At -125, I think that's fair. I understand an underdog pick here on Jillian. Like I said, more experience against high-level opponents. We just saw her, Martin, on Fight Pass when we were streaming it on Discord, when she absolutely dusted Rose Namajunas in like 45 seconds in a grappling match. She's a beast on the mat, and like I said, been fighting forever. So same age, but I do think that Tabitha Ricci will have a speed advantage on the feet. I like her striking more than Jillian. I think it's more dynamic. So give me Tabitha Ricci to win a decision.
Action Sports Cap. Next up in the lightweight division, we have Matuas Rebeski. He's 17-1. You can catch his odds around a -125. He's 30 years old. And he's taking on Loik Radzhabov. He's 17-4. You can catch his odds around a +105. He's 32 years old. Heffy.
Yeah, Martin, have you ever seen that Spider-Man meme where the guys looking at each other like, ooh? That's this fight, man. A fight between two guys that I think fight similar. I am going Matthias Rebetsky here. I have a little bit of money coming in. I think, Martin, you just said the line was minus 125 when it opened. He's around minus 160 now, and I get it. I do think that he's going to win this fight. And I just like his ground and pound, man. I really like his grappling, and once he does get into advantageous positions, I do like how he knows what to do when he's on top. So his opponent, definitely has a lot of experience before the UFC, fought for PFL. Definitely paid his dues and everything. So it's going to be a close fight. I am not betting this fight, but I do think that Matthias Rebetsky will win this fight via decision.
Action Sports Cap. Next up in the welterweight division, we have Randy Rude Boy Brown. He's 16-5. You can catch his odds around a minus 250. He's 32 years old, and he's taking on Wellington the Prodigy Turman. He's 18-6. You can catch his odds around a plus 205. He's 26 years old. FE.
I'm going with Randy Rude Boy Brown in this fight. Another favorite pick for me, but I just think that he's going to win this fight in every area. Listen, I understand. I respect Wellington Turman's grappling and his jiu-jitsu, but I don't think that he's going to be able to get it there, man. He's going down a weight class, Martin. You never like to see that. So I think Randy Brown, who is big for the division at 170, is going to have a lot of advantages on the feet and be able to keep this fight on the feet, get those underhooks when he does sprawl and brawl, and just kind of piece apart Wellington Turman, man. Never been impressed with him in the UFC, and I think that he's going to get another L in this fight. So I'm pretty confident in this fight. I think you said the odds are opening around minus 250 for Randy Brown. It's around minus 275 now, and I still think he's a safe parlay piece. So give me Randy Rude Boy Brown to even maybe finish this fight. So give me him to win via decision because I'm playing it safe.
Action Sports Cap. Next up in the welterweight division, we have Neil Haitian Sensation Magny. He's 27-10. You can catch his odds around a minus 150. He's 35 years old, and he's taking on Philip the Fresh Prince Rowe. He's 10-3. You can catch his odds at a plus 120. He's 32 years old. FE.
All day Neil Magny here. I'm loving Neil Magny money line, and I wish I could have got some minus 150 on him, but I got him at minus 165 for 1.75 units. Kind of a big bet, but I think that he's just a way better MMA fighter than Phil Rowe here. Listen, Phil Rowe's been finding the finishes here in the last 3 fights. He's a good fighter, man, but he's just such a slow starter. In that first round, he's continuously to look bad. I think that Neil Magny is only losing to high-level guys. I think that he's going to have the striking, definitely the clinch to, withstand this fight. I really think that when he does get pressed against the cage in the clinch, Neil Magny is going to be able to really have his type of fight here. And, everyone's trying to, bring up his finishing ability, how old he's getting. But I'm not buying it, man. I still have faith in Neil Magny. Like I said, I put 1.75 units on him.
Action Sports Cap. Next up in the middleweight division, we have Brendan All-In Allen. He's 21-5. He's the slight favorite. You can catch his odds around a minus 165. He's 27 years old. He's taking on Bruno Blindado Silva. He's 23-8. You can catch his odds around a plus 140. He's 33 years old. FE.
Dude, I'm excited for this fight. I think someone's going to get finished in this fight. I'm looking at violence in this fight, under 2.5, maybe even under 1.5, because I think Brendan Allen's going to be able to get this fight down because Bruno Silva hits hard, Martin. This guy has power in his hands, very deadly striker. So you don't want to get into long, extended exchanges with Bruno Silva. You're going to get cracked. When you saw his fight with Alex Pereira, he was going toe-to-toe for 2 rounds. Ended up, looking bad in that third. But still, Brendan Allen's going to have a clear grappling advantage in this fight, and he'd be an idiot not to use it. So I do think that Bruno Silva is going to be overextending, get caught with that level change from Brendan Allen, and that Brendan Allen will be able to win some minutes on the mat here and either get that finish or win a decision here. I am leaning toward a finish, so if I'm going to bet this, I'm going to bet Brendan Allen inside the distance. But I am pretty confident that he's going to win this fight. I'm very wary to bet him, like I said, at minus 185. That's a little bit too high because Bruno Silva is a dangerous striker. So give me him to win inside the distance, Brendan Allen, via his grappling advantage. I don't know what the odds are on that, but I think that he's going to finish this fight.
Action Sports Cap. In the co-main event, taking place in the flyweight division, we have Amanda Ribas. She's 11-3. She's a slight favorite. You can catch her odds around a minus 175. She's 29 years old, and she's taking on Macy, the future barber. She's 12-2, the slight underdog. You can catch her odds around a plus 145. She's 25 years old. FE.
My best bet for this fight is the fight goes to the decision. If you think that one fighter is going to win this fight, if you think Macy's going to win or Amanda's going to win, just bet them to win via decision because that's how they're going to win this fight. I don't see a finish by either fighter, coming in this fight. But I do think that Amanda is going to win this fight, dude. Macy Barber is just so frustrating to watch. She throws her strikes out from about this far. if her arms were, 2 feet longer, she'd be a champion, but they're not. And her striking is just so minimal and bad. But I'm just not impressed with Macy Barber. She relies on her strength to win her fights, and whereas Amanda Ribas, I think that she has way more leg kicks. She can, accumulate strikes on the cards for the judges here. And in the grappling, I think that she's going to be able to take down Macy Barber, dude. Macy Barber got taken down at will by Andrea Lee in that fight, her most recent fight. And I think that Ribas will be able to find those twists, find those throws along the cage, similar to Lee. So give me Ribas to win this fight at minus 200. That's pushing it. I don't know if I would bet that fight, or that line, I should say. Who do you got?
I'm on the same page as you. I mean, you did it. You nailed it right. I like Amanda Ribas. Macy Barber is a frustrating fighter to watch. It's almost like, it's like that girl in quotation friend that, you know what I mean, that wants to fight the boys, and you just keep beating her up. She's a punching bag fighter. I do see it going to decision too, but I also see Amanda be a submission, towards the end of the rounds. But yeah, I like Amanda Ribas, one of those all-in mortgage bets.
Oh wow, there you go. A lot of confidence in producer Martin there.
Action Sports Cap. Next up in the featherweight division, we have David Silent Assassin Onama. He's 10-2. You can catch his odds around a plus 190. He's 29 years old. And he's taking on Gabriel Moscatino Santos. He's 10-1. You can catch his odds around a minus 240. He's 26 years old. FD.
I'm going with Gabriel in this fight, man. Just watch that Leon Murphy fight. This guy's a high-level fighter. He took that fight on short notice and gave this guy a high-level toe-to-toe fight. In my opinion, he probably should have won that fight. And then you have David Onama, who is a finisher. This dude has probably, Martin, 4 minutes of gas take maybe. And after that, he's going to fade big time. So all Gabriel has to do in this fight is withstand that first round rush from Onama in this fight. And I think that he'll be the better fighter. I do think that he's a better overall MMA fighter. But I do think that Onama has a better finishing equity, like I said, in that first round. So if you want to get crazy, bet Onama in that first round finish. But I think that Gabriel is a better MMA fighter. And he's going to prove it here on Saturday night. So give me Gabriel to win via second round finish.
Action Sports Cap. Next up in the heavyweight division, we have Justin Badman Tafa. He's 6-3. You can catch his odds around a minus 180. He's 29 years old. And he's taking on Austin Lane. He's 12-3. You can catch his odds around a plus 150. He's 35 years old. FE.
Our second bet of the night, Martin. We have 1.5 units on Justin Tafa at minus 185. And I think that he's going to knock out Lane in this fight. Listen, man, everyone knows Lane is the guy that got knocked out by Greg Hardy. That was many, many years ago, though. Well, a few years ago. And he's gotten even better, but I will say his striking is just not as good as Tafa. Tafa, southpaw counter striker, very good check left hook. And I think that he's going to be able to, leg kick Lane down, really limit his movement, and be able to find that finish. So I think that Tafa will knock Lane out in this first round. Definitely bet the under. I mean, it's probably like minus 350, probably unbettable. Super, parlayable fight, doesn't go the distance type fight. But give me a sloppy heavyweight fight finish from Justin Tafa. Like I said, 1.5 units at minus 185. Justin Tafa, first round knockout.
Action Sports Cap. In the main event, taking place in the featherweight division, we have Josh Emmett. He's 18-3. He's the moderate underdog. You can catch his odds around a plus 250. He's 38 years old. And he's taking on Ilya El Matador Topuria. He's 13-0. The moderate favorite at a minus 335. He's 26 years old. And in this one, all day Ilya Topuria. He's such a beast. He's on a roll. He's fight ready. I know it's an easy pick. I'm like, oh, the money line is too easy of a pick. But lay the RV down. You know what I mean? If you lost the mortgage on the last one, this time I swear, lay the RV down on this one. It's super confident, man. I'm even feeling a TKO early.
I don't know, Martin. I think that gambling line might be a little bit wide. I think that Josh Emmett, the very powerful striker, I understand he's 39 years old, might be a live underdog, dude. He got rocked and kind of lit up in his last fight against Yuri Rodriguez. But, dude, his opponent, Ilya Topuria... Oh, sorry. That was my hand sanitizer boy. Is just a savage, man. This guy is a beast. There's going to be a huge age gap in this fight. Ilya Topuria, the way young, up-and-coming fighter, This guy's a finisher, a very good grappler, and a very good striker. But that's the thing, Martin. I actually think that he's a better grappler than striker. I think that he's going to be able to get Josh Emmett down in this fight and probably find that finish early on in the fight. I do have my worries, though, that if it does get extended and you get into exchanges, with Josh Emmett, he can crack, dude. I understand he's really old. That weight cut is really, really bad at him at this point in his career. But man, either way, someone's gonna get finished in this fight. Bet the under, bet the fight doesn't go the distance.
Next up in the welterweight division, we have Randy Rude Boy Brown. He's 16-5. You can catch his odds around a -250. He's 32 years old. And he's taking on Wellington, the Prodigy Turman. He's 18-6. You can catch his odds around a +205.
Stop.
What? What? I killed it, dude.
Turman, not Turman.
What's the difference?